Welcome to the Depth Dive. We're heading into some really fascinating territory today.
Definitely. Ancient Egypt, King Tut.
Exactly. And some, well, let's say intriguing new claims that have popped up.
Intriguing is one word for it.
So our mission for this deep dive really is to take one specific kind of surprising report about King Tut's tomb and just unpack it, see what's really there, what we can actually learn from the source material you've found for us.
Sounds good.
The main source we're looking at today is from an Egyptian tabloid, Egyptian Streets.
Right.
And it claims a pretty major announcement from the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities. So, okay, let's unpack this, because you won't quite believe what these reports suggest was found.
No, it's certainly a sensational claim. This Egyptian Streets report basically asserts that the ministry announced signs of, well, extraterrestrial activity.
The extraterrestrial activity in Tut's tomb.
That's the claim. Discovered after radar scans. Now, normally you use radar scans in archaeology to find, hidden structures.
Walls, chambers, things like that.
Exactly. Anomalies below the surface. But this report claims the scans disprove the old theories about Nefertiti's tomb being hidden there.
Okay.
And instead revealed, and this is a direct quote, extraordinary and out-of-the-world secrets.
Wow. Extraordinary and out-of-the-world secrets.
Yeah.
This is quite a statement.
It really is a very, very unusual interpretation of ground-penetrating radar data.
So what specifically did the report say was so extraordinary? Did it give any details that hinted at this out-of-the-world thing?
It did. Well, sort of. The source says a French archaeologist named Ailsap
Okay.
claimed the scans also revealed mysterious and extraterrestrial material that seemed to resemble a body.
A body. An extraterrestrial body.
That's the implication. And what's interesting is how the source presents the official reaction, or lack thereof. It says officials from SAP and unnamed departments just refused to answer questions.
Refused to say if it was alien.
Pretty much. Refused to comment on whether this mysterious body could be alien. And Ailsap is quoted saying, we do not know what it is, but we've never seen such results like never before.
Deliberately vague. Leaves you wondering.
Exactly. Creates that sense of mystery.
And this archaeologist, Ailsap, the source mentions something else about them, doesn't it? Something about a previous discovery.
Ah, yes. That's a key part. According to the source, this same archaeologist accidentally discovered 2 dinosaur bones in the Great Pyramid of Giza 2 years ago.
Dinosaur bones in the Great Pyramid. I mean, that sounds unlikely on its own.
Right. Another incredible detail. But, like you said, there's a crucial piece of information attached to that supposed discovery.
A date.
The date. The source clearly states Ailsap made the dinosaur bone discovery on April 1st, 2014.
April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Bingo. That date is, well, it's pretty much screaming that the previous discovery was a joke, an April Fool's prank.
Okay, that changes things significantly.
It really does. And if you look at the name, Ailsap, it's an anagram. Rearrange the letters.
Oh, April Sap, like an April Fool.
Exactly. A sap being a fool. It's clever, maybe, but definitely misleading. And it casts, a huge shadow of doubt on anything else claimed by this same person.
Right. So that dinosaur bone story wasn't just a funny aside. It's actually critical context for evaluating this new claim.
Absolutely critical. It's a perfect example of how one seemingly small detail, the date, can completely unravel a sensational story.
So when we put it all together, the tabloid source, the wild claims about extraterrestrials, and now this detail about the archaeologist's previous prank, what does it really tell us about this supposed discovery of extraterrestrial activity?
Well, it strongly suggests the entire thing is likely another fabrication, perhaps even another prank, or just sensationalism from the tabloid itself.
Makes sense. So zooming out a bit then, how do these kinds of theories, the alien ones, generally fit into actual Egyptology?
That's a good question. The source itself actually touches on this. It points out that theories about, aliens building the pyramids.
Yeah, this come up a lot.
They do, but they've almost always been rejected by, leading archaeologists, serious Egyptologists, Egyptian government officials. They consistently dismiss these ideas.
The source mentions Zahi Hawass, right? The former Minister of Antiquities.
It does. Dr. Hawass, sometimes called the Indiana Jones of Egypt.
Yeah.
Very prominent figure. The source says that back in 2010, in some documentary, someone asked him if aliens built the pyramids.
And his response?
Apparently, he told the person to shut up and called the ideas stupid.
Okay, pretty direct.
Very direct. Shows a clear, consistent rejection from the official side.
Though it's worth noting, the source itself has a bit of a take on Hawass
Yes, it does. It calls him a prominent misinformer.
and claims he knew and knows very well what lies behind the true story of the Giza Plains on who really built the pyramids.
Right, which is, that's the source's interpretation. It's important for you, the listener, to remember that this view of Hawass isn't necessarily the consensus in the archaeological community. It's what this specific source is claiming.
Good point. Always consider the source's own potential biases or angles.
Exactly. And speaking of angles and motivations, beyond the sort of pseudoscience claims, the source gives us another really crucial piece of context.
What's that?
It quotes an unnamed antiquities official talking about the impact of discoveries. This official says, "What we discover here will bring tourists from all over the world," and specifically mentions Egypt's tourism crisis.
Ah, the economic angle.
Precisely. The official even adds, apparently comparing it to movie plots. They could not even invent something like the National Treasure or Indiana Jones. This is a revolution.
So they're explicitly linking discoveries, or maybe even just the announcement of discoveries, to boosting tourism.
It seems that way, yes. It suggests a strong economic incentive might be at play, especially if tourism is struggling.
The idea that a sensational story, something out of this world, could be a deliberate strategy to generate global buzz and attract visitors.
Regardless of the factual basis, yeah. It could be seen purely as marketing.
It's fascinating how all these layers come together. The tabloid source, the April Fool's connection, the official dismissals of alien theories, and then this potential economic motivation.
It paints a much fuller picture, doesn't it? It helps understand why such an extraordinary claim might emerge and get reported, even if it lacks credible evidence.
Definitely.
So I think a really core takeaway for you today is just how vital it is to scrutinize sources, especially when claims sound really sensational, almost too good, or maybe too weird to be true.
Yeah.
We saw how seemingly tiny details, like a date or even a funny name, can unlock a whole understanding of whether information is reliable or not.
So what does this deep dive mean for your approach to information overload? Well, it really highlights how having a sharp eye for those details can help you sort the potentially groundbreaking stuff from, well, narratives maybe built for other reasons. It's about building up that critical thinking muscle, isn't it?
Absolutely. And always try to consider the layers of motivation that might be behind public announcements. It's not always just about pure scientific discovery. Context matters.
Like the country's tourism industry, as the source itself pointed out here.
Exactly. That context can be revealing. And, this whole thing raises a bigger question for you to think about. In this world just overflowing with information, how do we get better at telling the difference? How do we separate genuine, maybe even paradigm-shifting discoveries from stories that are just crafted for other purposes?
That's a great question to ponder.
And maybe also consider, what truly compelling secrets do we already know ancient Egypt holds? Secrets that are fascinating all on their own, without needing any alien intervention to capture our imagination.
There are certainly plenty of those. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We really hope this encourages you to keep questioning, keep exploring, and always, always look for those hidden details and insights.